Once more into the brink. This time letter D. Maybe E too, who knows? We start off with a group you know very well from the UK, Deep Purple. This was their first hit. It had a different vocalist than Ian Gillan. But this was their first big hit, Kentucky Woman. Sounds like a Neil Diamond song, I think it was. This is on Tetragrammaton. It's a weird label. You've heard it before. I don't need to play it. Again, I just love those picture sleeves. I hope you do too. This next guy is psyched to the max. Donovan. And as I told you before, I got to meet Donovan at a Beatles Fest many years ago. Great guy. And I don't need to play these. Sunshine, Superman, you know that. Just a wonderful, wonderful folky psyche. They call it Mellow Yellow, quite rightly. Mellow Yellow, of course, came from the mistaken belief that you could smoke bananas. That was Mellow Yellow. You can't smoke bananas. I don't recommend you smoke anything. But this was a big hit for Donovan. Wonderful, wonderful. Here's a French version of Mellow Yellow on Gemini Records. Then we got Jennifer, Juniper, la na 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 na. Very folky Donovan. Of course, Donovan started off as kind of a Dylan clone. Might as well catch the wind. But he gravitated into the psychedelia in 66 and 67 and had a lot of great hits. We love Donovan. Next, we get to a group which is the Bad Boys of Rock, and that, of course, would be The Doors. And here's their very first single on the original label, Break On Through to the Other Side, Break On Through. And I don't think any of these are non-album. End of the night. This is cool. It's, as I said before, it's on the original label. I don't think it's rare, but it's really, I love having like the first singles of groups I love. Here's the picture sleeve. Break on through, oh yeah, oh yeah. Jim Morrison, that crazy guy. And this is the second label. I believe the picture sleeve came out with the second label. Maybe not. I don't know. But by this time, by their first single didn't do so good. But their next one, holy moly. Here's a hip pocket hip disc of Break On Through. No, not Break On Through. Light My Fire. And Break On Through and Light My Fire. Now, what were hip disc? They were a little flexi disc meant to be played on a Philco record player, which was installed in Ford cars from about 1966, 67, 68. They never caught on. Used to see these for sale in Goldmine. I bought a few of them. Just love the Doors anyway. So any kind of Doors stuff, I'm a sucker for. Here we go with Light My Fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Great story about Light My Fire. When the Doors appeared on Ed Sullivan told him, you can't say get much higher. It sounds like a drug reference. So Jim Morrison says, yeah, okay, we won't say it. But then when they played it live, Jim Morrison did sing that. Higher, and looked right into the camera when he said that. Afterwards, Ed Sullivan says, you'll never play the Ed Sullivan Show again. Jim Morrison said, we did. Doesn't matter. That's the Doors. They were iconoclast to the max. They destroyed everything they could, especially Jimbo. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. This was their second album, and I think their most psychedelic album. In some ways, this is my favorite Doors album, the second one. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. When the music's over, turn on the light. You're lost, little girl. People are strange. People are certainly strange, especially if you're on drugs. This was Love Me Two Times, I'm Going Away with Moonlit Drive. We know those songs. Again, on the second Doors album, a wonderful, wonderful song. Then we get to the third album, and we get to the Doors actually did some protest music, a la Dylan. It's all over for the unknown soldier. Oh yeah. This is a great song. There were a number of anti-war songs in the late 60s. This, I think, is one of the best ones. And great picture sleeve. And now on the other side of the sleeve, there's a different picture. So picture sleeves are a lot of fun. I just think, again, the whole beauty and benefit of record collecting is being able to own an object in your hand, be able to look at it, be able to study it, be able to admire it. And certainly picture sleeves and 45's are in that same genre, that same type of possessiveness, wanting to own a piece of the action, a piece of hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name? I can see Jim Morrison say that to somebody. Hello, I don't know who you are, but I love you. They got almost got sued for this because it sounds like the Kinks all day and all of the night. Hello, I love you. They do sound a lot alike, don't they? Yeah, okay, all right, you caught me there. B side is She Lives on Love Street. Love that. Jim Morrison vocals sounded like Frank Sinatra going berserk. But he had great vocals until he blew out his voice. Now we get into the next album. Come on, come on, come on and touch me, babe. Can't you see that I am not afraid? What was that promise that you gave? They get into a little jazz stuff there. And wild child full of grace, the human race. You're Two-Face. Wild Child, I think, was like a groupie or a young kid who loved the Doors. And Jim Morrison was saying, you're Two-Faced. Like, first you love me and then you hate me. Yeah, that's the way it is, Jim. Yeah, either you're on top or you're on the bottom. Like the guy saying, when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. But this came out of their fifth album. And this was considered to be their worst album, except for it had 5 hits on it. Wishful, sinful, with Who Scared You. This is non-LP. Jim isn't singing this. I think Ray Manzarek is singing. So I'll play a little of this for you in case you haven't heard it before. Not the best. It's kind of a blues rock, not psychedelic to the max, but it's worth hearing a little bit. Yeah, Who scared you? Oh, it is Jim. I'm sorry. You something else. But it's 9 LP. Bobby Krieger. This did appear on a comp that came out in the early 70s called Weird Scenes Inside the Gold Mine. Who Scared You? Now more stuff off that Fitz album. Tell all the people that you see, follow me down. Interesting thing about by the time the third, fourth, and fifth Doors albums, Robert Krieger was writing most of the music. And when he wrote some of the lyrics on these songs, Jim Morrison balked at it. He said, I'm not singing that. They'll think I'm a revolutionary. Well, he did in the end, but anyhow, there they are. It's on the cover of the fifth album, The Soft Parade from William Burroughs. Here's the one that's not an LP by I think Krieger singing "Running Blue," which is no, it's on the LP. And Do It. You make me real like lovers feel. And Roadhouse Blues. So this is great. This is Morrison Hotel. Great album. Hard Rock Cafe, Morrison Hotel. Great album. Then we got Oh Don't You Love Her Madly. This was their swan song, the last great Doors album, which is more of a blues, not psychedelic at all. But here's the one that's non LP. You Need Me, Don't Look No Further. I'll play a little bit of this for you. It's bluesy. You got to hear a little bit if you haven't heard it before. The Doors reissued their stuff so many times. And it seems like every time they did, they came up with a new song out of the archive. I think about 5 years ago, they came out with the last unknown Doors song. And they were really scraping. They weren't just scraping the bottom of the barrel, they were beneath the barrel at that point. But some of the stuff that came out in the last 20 years has been really good. Kind of blues rock. You need me. Go to the I think it's Ray Manzarek singing this. Breath, got a big reed. You need loving. Look here, baby. I got just what you need. I gotta love somebody. Before Ray Manzarek was in the Doors, he was in a group called the Red Roosters, and they had a couple 45's, which are pretty rare. Blues rock. Here's a promo version of Love Her Madly, Don't Be Your Daddy. Riders on the Storm. Wonderful. And the B-side is Changeling, which was also on the album. This was in the mid 70s. The Doors released this recordings of Jim Morrison reciting poetry in the studio, and they played background to it. I think it was called Songs and Pictures or something by Jim. It wasn't that great. If you're a completist, you gotta have it. Promo of that. Now we've got some Europeans because like you can't get enough Doors. Here's a real cool picture sleeve from France of love her madly, and Ray Manzarek is feeling up this mannequin. Goofy fun stuff. Oh, those guys, those nutty guys. And it's on the Elektra label. I think the other side of this has a different picture. No, it's the same thing. Just one of the many fun things. Now, years ago, I was in France. I got to teach a class in France. And I went. Excuse me, I just lost my mind. I went to used record stores. I also got to go to the Paris flea market, which was wonderful. But the used record stores, I bought a bunch of EPs, and I left the store, and I went back and thought, no, there's only one there I really want to get. So I went back there. I said, I'm going to trade these in. I just want to get this one EP, and that's this very rare Doors Light My Fire on Vogue Records. And I know they reissued this on red vinyl, but this is the original. And it's kind of goofy because, like, it's got the jukebox, the jukebox label there, but it's pretty cool. I love it. I love all kinds of door stuff. I got a lot of weird door stuff here. Now, when they came out with the Doors movie, as Oliver Stone came out with that, and they reissued a bunch more stuff. This was Light My Fire. Here's another one. It had a picture of Val Kilmer. That's not Jim Morrison. That's actually Val Kilmer, who looks a lot like Jim Morrison. Poor Val. I think he died about 10 years ago. But he had a pretty good career until then. And I got a poster of this too. Here's a UK version of "People Are Strange," not to touch the earth, not to see the sky. That's from the celebration of the lizard, which was finally released on the live album, and underwhelming to say the least. But this was a good part of it. Not to touch the earth, not to see the sky. Yeah, but this was a later edition, and they're always capitalizing on Jimbo. Here's the album, the discography, including the one that Jim Morrison did where he's reciting poetry and the Doors are playing kind of cafe music in the background. All the Doors albums. Now, there was a live album that came out, I think it was in the late 80s, that was really good. And not just, of course, the double live album originally came out in there about 1970, 71. But this one came out later, but it didn't feature the very evocative long version of Jim Morrison and the Doors singing Gloria, which is like, I believe it's, the album is at least 10 minutes. It's a long track. This is edited down somewhat. But again, fun picture sleeve. Here's an EP from the UK, and not vintage. This came out later. It says includes limited edition, contains a free 45. Well, I didn't get that 45, so this is the limited edition. But just a fun little EP. Yeah, Electro label. So you can probably tell by now I'm a Doors fanatic. Oh yeah. I think all our baby boomers remember that sad day in 1970 when they announced Jim Morrison had died, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, all the people that died. Drugs is what killed them. Okay, now we're going for an Australian pop band which had a really fun little psyche song called Friday on My Mind. I'm going to play a little bit for you. And I did talk about the Easy Beats album. This was covered by the San Francisco band Earthquake a few years later. It's a great song. Monday morning feels so bad. Everybody seems to nag me. Coming Tuesday, I feel better. Even my old man looks good. But they just don't go where they go to school. I got Friday on my mind. In my city. I'll be with my girl, she's so pretty. She looks fine to me, she looks out to me. Next, we get to one of my favorite psychedelic bands of all time. I do have a number of their 45, but I'm pretty sure that they're all on the album. It's the Electric Prunes, the original version, before that manager messed them up. I had too much to dream last night. I'm not ready to face the light last night. Dun, dun, dun. Side B, Lovin'. Then we got, let's see, get these in order here. Get Me to the World on Time. This is also, I believe this was on their second album. Are You Loving Me More Are you loving me more, but enjoying it less? Confess. Dun, 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 dun. Great, 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 great. Hideaway? I don't remember that one. And Dr. Dogood. Dr. Dogood is not doing no good to nobody. Dr. Dogood. Wind up toys and great banana hoax. So there's electric prunes are answering that. No, it's a hoax. No, you can't get high up bananas. Don't do them. Eat. They're good to eat, but don't do anything else with them. Okay. Two more E's, and that's the end of it. We're going to do D and E today, and this is the first one. Is called The End, Project Blue, and this is on Seascape Records from LaPorte, Indiana. Okay, let's see what these guys say. And my notes say that both sides of this are really good with a lot of fuzz guitar. Let's see. I need you love, baby, more than you could know. So why don't you ever let it show? Your love for me, you know, is far from real. Yours is the only love that I've ever had. You know I'm only trying to make you mine. I wish you tried, cause it makes you feel so fine. Here's the B side. Reverb. Out of my hands, baby. Think about somebody new. You'll understand. Things change from day to day. Out of my hands, baby. Yes, it was out of your hands. The end with two D's. The end. It's the living end. Out of my hands with Project Blue. And these guys are so good, they get a silver label. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, here's the last one, and we're signing off with the letter G's and E's. We'll do the F's tomorrow. This is the Escapades. The Escapades. Good psych on A, folk rock on B. So let's do the psych. Let's do the psych here. Which side is A? Escapades on Verve Records. The Escapades on Verve Records. This is the folk rock. I try so hard to say I love you. I can't find words to say I care. I can't speak the words to make my love. That's what I need to share. Let's hear the psych side. This must have been 66. Half folk, half psych. 67 maybe. Sorry. Well, you know I'm really gotta bet it. The things you do make me so steady. You used to make me smile. You made my life worthwhile. The way your acting's only making me mad, mad, mad. My ankles are running through this storm. I look. That's it. Letters D and E. We'll start off with F next. I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you later.